In this video, I will show you 5 traps in the Sicilian defense for the white pieces. And I am telling you, you might have never seen this trap before and you will win 95% of the time. So let's move on to our first trap. The first trap is in the open Sicilian. You go c3. This is the Alpine variation. Black goes knight c6. You go d4, hitting the center. Black pings your knight by playing bishop to g4. Here you go with d5, hitting the knight. Now here, knight to b8 is the best move. He cannot go to a5 because his knight will end up getting trapped. But no one is going to play knight to b8. Instead, they will play knight to e5, putting more pressure on your knight. Now here you will shock your opponent with knight takes e5, sacrificing your queen. If black does not capture your queen, then you can capture his bishop and you will be up a piece. Therefore, he will take your queen. And after the take, you are going to play bishop to b5 check. Queen d7 is the only legal move. Here you will capture this queen. And after king moves, you will play knight takes f7 check. King takes bishop, and then first you will capture this bishop, and later you can capture this rook as well. And you are having plus 10 advantage in just 10 moves, and you are completely winning. Let's move on to our second trap. The second trap is in the knight off variation. After black takes, you recapture with the knight. Knight f6 attacking this pawn, knight c3 defends, and a6 is the knight off variation. Here you go with bishop to g5. e6 is a standard response. Here you go with f5. Knight bd7 is a natural move, defending this knight and planning to move the queen away. Here you are going to play bishop to c4, preparing to castle. Here black goes b5, hitting the bishop. And here you are not going to save your bishop. Instead, you are going to sacrifice your bishop by playing bishop takes e6. Black takes, and then you will recapture this pawn with your knight, attacking the queen. So queen moves, and here you are going to play knight to d5, threatening a fork on c7 and also attacking this queen. Black will capture this knight, you recapture with the queen, attacking this rook. The best move here is to play knight to b8, but no one will play that. If anyone will play that, then you can report them. And instead, they will play bishop to b7, defending their rook and attacking your queen. But this is a big blunder, as you can play knight to c7 check. Queen takes is the only move, followed by queen to e6 check. Bishop blocks, and then queen takes e7 is a checkmate in just 15 moves. Let's move on to our next trap. This trap is in the Smith-Morag gambit. After they take, you play c3, offering him another pawn. They take, you recapture with the knight. After that, they play knight c6, you go knight f3, standard moves. They go d6, you go bishop to c4. Here, a6 is the best move, but knight to f6 and bishop to g4 are the most common moves played. Let me show you how you can win in those variations. First, if black plays bishop to g4, you are going to sacrifice your bishop by playing bishop takes f7, king takes, and then knight g5 check regains the bishop. So let's go back and look at knight f6. After knight f6, you are going to play e5. Here black have two options, either to take with the pawn or with the knight. Let's look at both of them. First, let's look at d takes on e5. You are going to trade queens. Black recaptures with the knight. And here you go with knight to b5, threatening a fork on c7. If king d7, then you are going to play knight takes e5. King e8 is the only move, and then knight to c7 is a checkmate. What if here Black takes with the knight. Then you are going to recapture with the knight. Pawn takes. And then you are going to play this amazing move. Bishop takes f7, forcing the king to move away from the queen. And then you can capture his queen. And you are completely winning. Let's move on to our next trap. This trap is in the open Sicilian. After knight f6, knight c3, black here goes for the dragon variation. Here you go with bishop to e3. Here many players play knight to g4, thinking to trade this bishop to have a better dark square control. But this is a big blunder. Here you go with bishop to b5 check. Now black can either block with the knight or with the bishop. If he blocks with the knight, then you can take this knight. Then after pawn takes, you are going to play bishop takes c6 and you will be up an exchange. And here, if bishop blocks, then you can safely capture this knight as this bishop is pinned to the king and you are up a piece and completely winning. Let's move on to our last trap. This trap works best in the bullet because of the low time. This trap is in the open Sicilian and after black plays d6, you go with c3. This is the Alpine variation. And after black plays knight f6, attacking this pawn, you are going to ignore this and play bishop to e2. And here, 60% of the beginner players capture this pawn, thinking that you made a mistake. But you are going to play queen to a4 check, and no matter what black does, you will win the knight and you are completely winning in just 6 moves. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was not the end. Check out this playlist for more amazing traps like these and this right video for Prak's amazing gameplay, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like these.